these breakfast. All right, but let's look at a couple of stories that has made it to the front pages of our national dailies this morning. There's still talk about a tariff hike. Well, people are still trying to, wrap their head around the whole band A, band B, band C. Well, the other day we talked about how we need to start calculating the hours at which we have electricity.
Okay, that's true.
To be sure. And NERC, that's the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, has said, hey, if you're not provided the amount of power that you should have, you can report it. But the question is, even if we report it, will it be treated?
Who's going to be accountable to that? So it's really funny. And the funny thing is that most of the people do not even know how this thing really works, and they just know that it's becoming too small. It's no longer lasting the way it's supposed to be, and I think it's evident because I just realized that I did my prepaid some days ago, and already it should last like at least a month, but this is like a week. I'm like, this is serious. Nigeria's serious with this.
Okay.
So, okay.
All right. So that's one. Major concerns, guys. We get to hear about, fire raising down buildings and major markets in the states, not just in Lagos, in some of the states. What do you think is going on? What do you think is a problem? What's going on? Yesterday, a fire raised 14 Lagos market buildings, and 4 structures actually collapsed. It's really disturbing.
It's becoming recurrent, and we are wondering what's happening. Is it a mistake? Is it an accident or something? Something more sinister happening, because it's happening regularly now, and I think whoever is in charge of that department should be looking into this matter, looking at the causes and how they can avoid it in the future.
It interests you to know that while the fire was going on simultaneously in Lagos, there was also a very, very big fire going on in Cross River State.
Yeah.
So there's this place in Cross River State. It's like the commercial hub of Cross River State. It's called Ecom.
Yeah.
Now, that place has a lot of businesses going on there. Like it's a bubbling city when it has to do with business. And the biggest market in that place, there was a serious fire there, and I was like, what's going on? There's a fire in Lagos, there's a fire in Ecom. And it beats me, and I want to ask, is this intentional, or is this all a mistake? I feel like, first off, people need to start taking
precautions.
Yeah, precaution of electricity, how their shops are being wired, because
when you go to some places, you see how exposed the wires are. Some of the wires are already bleeding, and any slight touch,
it's really dangerous.
And of course, I think as the power Minister of Power,
Adilabu.
Yeah,
why do I feel I know what you're going to?
Yeah, of course, he was telling us to switch off our appliances when we are not around. Yes, but then we don't do that. So maybe these are the effects of not switching off your appliances when you are leaving the house, or you are leaving your shop or your offices. Make sure you do that so to avoid these occurrences.
Do you agree, David?
Yeah, that's correct. Okay. I think people tend to blame the government for everything.
Yeah,
they'll say that the light was low, but when it came back, it came with full voltage and all of that. But you just have to be precautious. You just have to take care of everything that's going on, because you're going to be the one who's going to lose at the end. So you just need to be precautious.
Okay,
that's
it. And finally, what is the business of NLC with Labour Party?
I told you that day.
I know
the serious one.
I told you that the Labour, Nigeria Labour Congress, and
please, I think
Labour
there's a
Party.
difference. This is a political party. Although some people would say that it's a political party formed from an offshoot of the Labour Party, just to further show that they want to participate in politics and all of it. But I still do not agree. This is a political party. The Nigerian Labour Congress is what?
A pressure group.
A pressure group.
Yeah.
If
meant to do what? Press on the demands of
if
Nigerian workers.
If the NLC are interfering in the matters of the LP or the Labour Party, that means they have something in common. They have something together.
The 37-man tripartite committee that was set up to bring up an achievable minimum wage. We're yet to hear anything. This is April. Okay, let's say, because it's still today, the 10th day in the month of April 2024. So we are okay. Hopefully, we're going to hear something maybe substantial before the end of the month about how much should be the minimum wage of Nigerian workers.
Yeah.
But you saw the amount that was ruled out. I think that was last month, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from the 6th geopolitical zone, you don't.
400,000.
It's
700,000.
not realistic. That's the truth. It isn't.
Okay, so that was just a quick wrap up on what's making the headlines in our national dailies. Let's just get down to the business of today, and we're going to be starting with our major talking point on the mid-morning show. Right, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Jubilee Mid-Morning Show on your preferred dial, Jubilee 99.7 FM Lagos. This morning, we're going to be talking about cultism, and it is a very disturbing development in our society. It is eating deep into the fabric of our society, and if we're not careful, we're going to lose it, okay? Sometimes you wonder, for what reason do people, get involved with this pressure group? I mean, what do they offer? I mean, I really do not understand. Somebody will have to sit me someday and tell me, okay, these are the advantages. But for all that I know, all my time in school and out of school, and what you still see on the streets of Lagos and in other parts of Nigeria, I do not think and feel that there is any advantage to being part of this unholy union, which, lead to... We saw a video, I think that was it last month, of a young man, a young Nigerian student who was gruesomely murdered, broad daylight. And when you read the story, it say, okay, he belongs to a particular fraternity, and this other fraternity group or this other cult group was actually looking for him. And of course, when they found him, and that's how he just wasted his life.
Like
the parents are out there saying, my child is in school. He's studying so course. I'm going to have an engineer as a son. I'm going to have a doctor as a daughter, and all of it. Let's not, profile this to one particular gender.
Yeah,
it's surprising to know that even females are part of these unholy unions.
They're under the radar.
So, but this morning, we want to, streamline it down to primary and secondary schools. I mean, the question we're asking is, what is responsible for the rise in cultism in primary and secondary schools in Nigeria? It is disturbing, if you ask me. I mean, for young kids in primary school and secondary school being part of this unholy union, then something is definitely wrong. Where do we trace it down?
There's a lot of factors that can cause that, because first of all, it's parenting. Another one is the kind of environment you are bringing up your child in, and also what you are exposing them to. Because these days, you look at the movies we watch, the music videos, or even the music we listen to, or that are out there. You look at the lyrics. These songs, they promote cultism. Even the movies,
a lot of violence,
and so these kids, they're exposed to these things. They're hearing it, and they're taking inspiration. And talking about parenting, then what are you doing as a parent? How are you bringing up your child? What are you showing your child the wrongs and the rights of these things? Don't say they are too young to don't say my child is too young to be talking about or they are too young to have this conversation with them. Have it with them, because right about now we are talking about primary school students and the secondary school students in courts. So they have to enlighten their children about these things. That these things don't usually end well. They don't end well. Whatever you are listening to, it is. I don't even
whatever orientation they give to. I mean, this young people.
Yeah,
I really don't understand, because how you sit the child down, brainwash the child. You bring the child into the group, and the child starts, growing with that knowledge, and before you know, he passes it down to another, they grow like that in rank, and they feel. I think for them, one of the things I feel is that they want to feel powerful.
Yeah.
They want to walk on the street and nobody.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised that nobody's sitting them down. For some of them, I don't know what enters them or this particular.
We didn't blame it on society, because before now we have had a discussion, David. Sorry, and we've had a discussion that these days society no longer feel comfortable correcting.
That's correct.
Somebody else's child. Yeah.
Somebody else's child.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with Zlatan on that one. Parenting. You know, I find myself so interested in true crime stories. And I watch a lot of those videos on YouTube, and it always boils down to one thing. Sometimes I watch videos of what do they call them, serial killers on YouTube, and when they're in court, it all boils down to how they had abusive parents. The parents didn't have their time. They were neglected and all of that. So parenting plays a very, very big role. For example, now I always tell people it starts with a little temper. You have this temper you cannot control. You said you even go up and say it proudly. I'm a very high tempered person. Like if I get angry and all of that, that is really wrong. I feel like most kids begin to build that behavior from a very young age, and their parents do not see it and try to control them. That no, you don't flare up like that for things like this. You have to calm down and settle things easily. But now they grow up with that temper, and that is one of the key points of how this thing starts.
Temper.
You know, you want to get angry, you want to do whatever you want. Because
you see parents who even load their children and be like, yeah, I like the fact that
correct.
My child is standing up against
I see that
this,
a lot these days. I see that, and yes, it's good for your child to stand up to himself, okay, in case of bullying and other things. But this is different. Now, when you see two confraternities having some kind of fracas, and it gets to the point where they have to start using weapons and trying to end people's life, that is because you're angry at something someone else did, and it's something you could just settle with a dialogue. But what do you now prefer? You prefer to use weapons. You prefer to outright violence, and
then the parents, maybe you carried out that act, a child carries out that act on another person's child, and the parents brings the child to your house and say, see what your picking do to my daughter or to my son, and the parents will come out proud and say, no, my picking. Why your picking self can't find my picking trouble? You know that kind of thing, and that's how it goes on, and the child feels protected.
That's
isn't
very
it?
bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can be part of the conversation this morning. All you have to do is call us up. Let's talk about this rising menace of cultism in primary and secondary schools in Nigeria. What do you think is responsible? Share your thoughts with us at 0704-100-7997 or 0704-100-8997. Don't forget, you can send us a text or WhatsApp message to the number 0805-251-9337. We are talking about cultism in primary and secondary schools.
Just to give a backstory to this whole cultism issue in Nigeria. So cultism began as far back as 1952. Like it started out as fraternities, and they were like confined into universities, Nigerian universities, and their motive was maintaining law and order on campus among students. Okay, like students fight, students disagreement. They're like more like. Will I say like students police? Let's say that, so they go and make sure that there is law and order. And I think it started with the Pirates Confraternity, led by many notable Nigerians, and one very notable person was the Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. So it wasn't made to be one secretive society where people tend to do very, very, very what's the word? Do very, very things those kind of things.
Violent acts.
It was supposed to be a corporate body that will control students' activities, maintain law and order among students. Now, of course, the university body maintains law and order, but student bodies is going to make it more easier because they know how to relate to students more. this was the goal of confraternities when it started with the pirate confraternity. But today, it's been
different. It's a part. I mean, it's part tussle.
It's something
now.
else. It's something else entirely.
So that means the dynamics has changed, and even if you look at if you watch movies, these foreign movies in their schools, there's these groups, and just like you said, that is the aim. You know, they're just there. They're not for violence. They're just there to support each other through school. That's what they are for, and they're still on to today. But then here in Nigeria, like I said, it has changed. It has even spread out of because before, like I said, it was confined to universities. Now that's spread out to the streets. You go to, especially in this band E, band F region, where yes, it's a band EF region where you go to the street, you see one guy claiming that is this is that, and the people with him are going up around the street and are causing a nuisance. And so this is and there are kids who are looking at these people, and funnily they like what they are seeing. They're getting inspiration from these elderly people, elderly guys who are forming or who are claiming to have this power. And so that's where they too pick it up, and then they go to school and they tell their friends, and they start within their group. They start they form a group and they start their own there in school. And so that is the origin. And so that's why, of course, parents they can't choose their the kind of environment they want to stay, because at the end of the day you have to live according to your
that's true.
To your pockets. So you cannot, if you are earning a certain amount, you cannot say you want to go and live in one serene place or a place that so you have to.
So it will take a lot for you to bring up your child
in an environment like that.
Yes, environments like that the right way, because peer pressure at that moment will be very strong. The child comes out, sees what all the kids are doing, all the children are doing, and he wants to be part of it.
He wants to be part of it.
Yeah, and when he's being directed by the parents, when the parents is trying to say, no, don't go that way, the child could see the parents as an enemy. I'd be like, what the kids are doing, why are you stopping me from doing it?
And you as a parent, you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care how your child feels. If you know
that is true. That is the way to go.
If you know that what you are telling him to do is the right way, you have to keep to it. And I will say urge parents to just make sure that your child's school, where the school you attend or she attend, make sure that it's very close to your house, not that far distance. Yeah, not that far distance.
Close to your house is not.
No, I mean, just fine, just not very close, not very close like that. But then it should be close enough so that because if it's long distance, and these kids, if it's long distance, that means they have some kind of freedom after school.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of things can happen between that school and home. Because of that distance,
okay,
and so you also have to take that into consideration, and
above all, above all, I feel what is the most important is preschool. How have you brought up your child? How are you giving back your child to the society? It's very, very important.
Okay.
Now, training a child starts from, I think, when the child begins to understand, to know that this is right and this is wrong. That is where the training of the child begins, and it's very, very important. I've seen today Gen Zs, and we have Gen Z parents also these days, and they're always
they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're always on their phone. So this kid is doing something really, really wrong, and because you're on your phone, you don't have
you're not
the
paying
child's
attention.
time. You're not paying attention to the child, and the child goes on to feel like this thing he's doing is a norm, but it's actually very, very wrong. They grow up with that, and now it becomes very, very difficult when the child is already grown up to start correcting those things you should have done before the child. So it's the responsibilities, not just the parents. I'm not going to put it on the parents alone.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question, but before I do that, don't forget the phone lines are very much open. Let's talk about this. It's a growing and disturbing menace in our society. We're talking about cultism in primary and secondary schools. What do you think is responsible for it? Well, you two have harped on parenting. How about the school? The parents, how about parents who are doing their own bits to ensure that, they bring up their child properly? Now, remember, from the time the child leaves the house to go to school, and when the child comes back home, I feel he spends more hours in school.
That's correct. That's correct.
He spends at home. So a whole lot happens in school. The teacher, management of the school, the students, everybody, come together. They encompass and, add to what we're seeing right about now. How do we pick out these indices, these factors that also contributes to it? Because a parent is out there trying to do his or her best, and the child is also out there. It's the boss down. It looks at it. Okay, places it on a scale of preference, and which do I go with? My parents' advice, or what society says, or what the school says?
Okay, I know that peer pressure could be a very big influence on kids, and most of the kids tend to want to do what their friends are doing to look cool. You know, I want to be as cool as this guy, so I tend to do whatever he's doing, even if that thing is wrong. So if you see most of these high school movies in Hollywood, you realize that there's always this bully, and he's like the main bully. But there are two younger boys who are always following him. They're not really bully, but because they want to be as cool as this main guy, so they have to follow him, bully other people, so they can also feel among and look cool. So that is where peer pressure comes in. Okay, now. But I feel like it also boils down to parents to make sure that you understand who your child is following in school. Okay, what is your child listening to? Okay, it might not be entirely the role of parents, but it's very, very important that when your child is back from school, you keep him or you sit him down. You guys have a conversation.
The parent is tired.
Good. How was school? What happened in school today?
The parent is tired. I mean, he's gone to work. She's gone to work. They come back. They're really tired. They're trying to prepare their minds for tomorrow. They barely will have time to have these conversations. I'm just saying.
That is true. But then you know that as a parent,
you cannot be too tired for your child.
Exactly. you know that's a job. Okay. You like come back. Whatever you're doing, you have to create that space. Just because the first point I mentioned is having time for your child. If you're not having time for your child, of course, you expect this child to go outside and look for that. I will call it now.
Look for a shoulder to lean on. Someone to talk to.
What was this word?
I feel like a neglected
attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Find that, and they can find it. They can find it.
Correct. A neglected child would definitely want to find attention somewhere else.
Yeah.
It could be his neighbors. It could be
his friends.
His friends. His surrounding. He would definitely want to find that attention somewhere. The attention you're not giving to him, he's going to find it somewhere. And what if the place is looking for it?
David, you do know there's a paradigm shift from, if you look at people from my generation to what we have now.
Okay.
We were, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but we're looking at the rise right about now. And I'm going to bring in another factor that I think has actually contributed so we can, look into it. Okay. If you look at the paradigm shift, when we grew up, we were very, there was high level of discipline. A child goes to school.
Definitely.
And when your friend in school is telling you something that is not good,
correct,
that you do not conform with, you quickly put it to that person and say, my parents didn't tell me this.
Yes.
My parents says it's wrong to do this.
Yes. Tell you outrightly you're wrong.
Would run away from you. Would come back home and even report.
That's correct.
I said, Mommy, Daddy, look at what Tunde Shehu said to me in school.
Yes.
And the parents would take an excuse from work
and come to school.
And say, correct. This is what my child came to tell me.
True.
True. But it doesn't happen.
And you're scared. You walk in the street. We talked about how society also helps to, bring up your child. Society will see a child doing something wrong, can even spank the child. I'm not saying spank the, come on, don't do that. Stop it.
That's true.
And then you quickly comport yourself. But this thing, you would go beat someone else's child or maybe spank the child or even raise your voice at the child. The child looks at you and be like,
who are you?
Who are you to talk to me that way?
These days, even as a teacher in school, you don't get to scold a child. You don't even get to flog a child, and that is because when
some
you
schools do not permit for,
of course,
some sort of punishments.
I think very, very soon it could be a state government thing. It could be that the state government does not permit flogging in this state. I don't know if that is possible. I don't know if that has already been done, but it's coming. Okay, because a lot of schools, I have an opportunity to teach in many schools, and that is the new norm. So, as a teacher, you cannot cane a student. These days you cannot even give like, you can scold the student, but once it becomes too much, the students feel like you're giving a personal attack on him, and the next thing his parents is coming to school tomorrow. And the funny thing is, it's how the parents tend to defend the child so much these days. Like the indiscipline rate has gone so high that they defend the child against their indiscipline, even when they should see reasons to why that should be a disciplinary action. So it's really alarming.
Yeah. So when you talk about Gen Z parents, just like you said, they only listen to what their kids say. They will not come to school and ask the teacher what happened. Ask the management what happened. But it's what their kids say, and they don't care what you're going to tell them or what the school's going to tell them. The point is, you flogged my child, and you shouldn't. And that should stop.
those days, I'm sorry, Lasan.
Yeah.
Those days, if I come home with marks on my body, for example, and I say, "Mom, see what my teacher did to me," the first question I'm going to be asked
What did
is,
you do?
"What did you do?" And when I say, "Oh, so maybe I was not copying my notes," I say, "Oh, you're not copying your Noya kneel down. I'm going to collect another strokes, another line of strokes."
Exactly.
So these days, those days, whenever I'm flogged, I knew I was definitely not flogged for no reason. There was definitely a reason. It was probably my fault. So I just keep quiet. I don't say anything.
I remember for me, I try to hide it. I would not even want because usually, at that very tender age, my parents, my mom especially, would want to still, bathe for me. So when I come back, I try to rush into the bathroom to have my bath, because I'm sure while I'm having my bath, she would see it. Or rather, while she's, bathing me, she would see it. And then questions will arise. And I know from the bathroom, that's where I'll start to, get to the heat. And let me bring you these stats. Between 1996 and 2019, over 40 different cult groups with a total of 12,000 chapters operate in school campuses across Nigeria. This was between 1996 and 2019.
That's a massive number.
12,000 chapters.
12,000 chapters.
That's a really massive
and so,
number.
We are in 2024. If we have any records now, I'm sure it will
be more than this.
It will be more
Definitely.
than this.
Definitely. You think that the way social media has kind of promoted the ills of cultism, you would think that a lot of people are going to start withdrawing from it. But it would surprise you to know that
I thought social media was actually, influencing it, and
social media is
and giving
influencing
rise
it.
for it.
But social media is also opening our eyes to the fact that there's
What
no
do you see
benefit in
more?
this.
David, what do you see more? Do you see the disadvantage, or do you see the advantage more?
But
I won't lie. What makes the news? What makes the news most of the time is
negatives.
Yes, the negative, the demise of somebody who is a cultist. For example, the last one we saw on X, where this very good-looking guy.
Yeah, I saw that video too.
And it was a very, very gory scene. Like, this guy was, you don't get to see those kind of things every day. Like, a bullet. It was really disheartening to see something like that. A very good-looking guy, and in his finals. So the question is, why do you even go and do something like that? Like, why do you indulge in such when you know that your life is no more yours when you do that?
Exactly.
And what I don't understand, I'm trying to wrap my head around, is how people don't, how people take inspiration or from this from these things. Because look at this drug kingpin of way back. What's his name? Is it Escobar?
Okay.
You see these, yes, you see Pablo Escobar. You see these days, you're going to see his portraits in people's homes.
Wow.
Even though
what is the idea?
Even though he committed heinous crimes then, but then is a sort of inspiration to some people now. And so that's what I'm asking. Even you say that on social media we see these things, we see the ills of this cultism, but then people still go into it, even though they know that at the end of the day, it's most likely that they will get killed. They'll get arrested.
Should I tell you something, guys?
Okay.
The thing is, attention right now is not being placed in primary and secondary school. So sometimes these activities happen in primary and secondary school, and it goes unabated, unattended to. We are just, gazing at our searchlight, or beaming our searchlight on Nigerian universities, where we have, of course, that's like the home, that's like the umbrella where these activities actually, happen. Last year, there was also a report that in 2023, no fewer than 100 victims were reported to have died, while about 300 were arrested across the country due to nefarious activities of these groups. From Rivers State to Osun to Delta, Ogun, and other states like Benue. Of course, Lagos. You'd mentioned not call Lagos. Anambra is also there. Ekiti, Edo, Nigerian universities. Have you
just Jan? These are environment, our region, our area. Go to the public schools around here, and see the students after school.
It's always the public schools.
Yeah, see what they say, see what they're talking about, and you wonder. So
I'm
I
surprised
think
you haven't mentioned private schools too.
It's spreading there, but then I think you're going to find it more in public schools, especially in this part of the country or the states. So it's going to take a lot, and I think the government too will have to come into and try. I think it's going to take a whole lot, the government, the parent, the society to curb this.
I feel like that neglect we've been talking about is found mostly in the public schools.
Yeah.
It is the possibility of more neglected children is a lot in the public schools. So those ones in the private schools, it's very, very possible that the parents have their time. They tend to take a very, very good look at their kids, what their kids do. But the ones in public school, those people are almost they're in a world of their own. They're almost living like they're adults.
Their own, yes.
They're almost living like they're adults. Like most of these people, like they do whatever they want. Most of them, and it's.
Well, here in Lagos, there's the Lagos anti-cultism law, and if you ask me, I'd say
functioning?
How effective it is, because we know the law stipulates a jail term of 21 years for anyone found to be a member of a cult group or solicit for members of of unlawful society.
Does that include juveniles?
Well, that's what I'm not sure.
I mean, if this anti-cultism, if they're effective, you see people, like I said, you see guys on the street, and they are boldly talking about their group.
Talking about how effective this law is, especially in Lagos. How about the people at the very top who belong to some of these groups?
Let us go there.
No, but that's the truth.
Let us go there.
If you arrest somebody who, of course, is found to be a member of a cult group, and he knows somebody at the top.
True.
What do you think?
You always see that these people who are like a menace in the community, they are being arrested after they have done something really, really bad, and they are arrested, and before you know, the next day they are out, and then you wonder how was this guy out? So I'll agree with you that this comes from the top. Okay, and the fact that these people at the top tend to use these ones down for their own devious activities, and at the end of the day they abandon them, and then they become a menace in the society.
The ones we see on the streets, in the schools, I think those ones are low tier. The top tier ones are these top guys that Pascal is talking about, because they're also there, and like he said, we shouldn't limit it to one sex. Even the female too, they are part of this group, but then I think they're always under the radar, and we don't get to see much about them. It's just the male who are always on the field to carry out their duties.
All right, such an interesting conversation we're having here. We'll go on a short break. At the top of the hour, we'll bring the news, and after the news, we'll come back and put finishing touch to these particular topic. Don't go nowhere. This is Jubilee 99.7 FM Lagos.
We serve you with tips to healthy living, trending stories, current information across the globe, and sports.
Get more sleep.
The reason I like sleep is because if you can get 1 hour or more, it dramatically affects cancer rates, high blood pressure rates.
Infrastructure development. No provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
This could open up kindly for De Silva, and it's wriggled in! The bees sting instantly!
Jubilee 99.7 FM. We bring it to you because you love it.
The time is 10 o'clock. Here are the stars of falling at this hour. I am Pascal Mfon Obong. President Bola Tinubu has called on all citizens to come together and rededicate themselves to the noble duty of building the nation. President Tinubu made the appeal in his message to Muslim Ummah on the occasion of the Eid al-Fitr celebration. In the text of the message made available by presidential spokesman during Gilali, the president said the citizens are the sculptor and Nigeria is the clay. We build it the way we desire. President Tinubu felicitated with Muslim Ummah and prayed that their supplications and sacrifices in the season and even after would receive rewards from Almighty Allah. The president, while wishing Nigerians happy Eid al-Fitr, prayed that the lessons, blessings, and the joys of the season abide with them always. The chairman of Nigerian indigenous carrier Air Peace, Alan Oyema, has raised the alarm that foreign carriers operating the Nigerian-UK route allegedly conspiring to send Air Peace out of international operations by crashing airfares on the route. There is an unspoken alliance among foreign airlines to use lower pricing to eject Air Peace from the Nigeria-London route, alleged a visibly displeased Alan Oyema in an interview with newsmen yesterday. The airline boss invited other Nigerian airlines to join the Nigeria-UK route to break the monopoly hitherto enjoyed by foreign carriers operating into the four major gateway airports of Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Port Harcourt. The leadership of the Labour Party yesterday warned the Nigeria Labour Congress against trying to hijack the political platform, saying it lacks the power to sack the Julius Ibure National Working Committee as recently declared. The party's response was a reaction to Monday's resolution taken by the NLC Political Commission at a stakeholders meeting in Abuja. In a communique released after the gathering, the Unionists voided the National Convention that returned Julius Ibure and his National Working Committee members to office. To fill the vacuum, the stakeholders said the Congress will set up a transition committee to oversee the party's affairs pending when the new officers will be elected in 3 months. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 general election, Atiku Abubakar, has dared President Bola Tinubu to disclose the full cost of the Lagos-Calabar Highway project. Atiku Abubakar said in a statement yesterday that the Tinubu administration could not continue to keep silent on how much public funds would be spent on the project at a time when Nigeria was still facing dire economic challenges. The federal government recently announced the start of construction on the 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, revealed this in a statement last week by his special advisor on media, Oji Uchenna, in Abuja. In health, the country representative of the World Health Organization, Nigeria, Dr. Walter Malumbo, said that depriving individuals' health should be treated as a human rights violation. Dr. Malumbo said this in Abuja yesterday during a health work organized by the World Health Organization Nigeria and the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare to commemorate the 2024 World Health Day. He said the World Health Organization was created 76 years ago by member states based on the principle of human rights and based on the fact that health is a fundamental human right and it shouldn't be a privilege. The World Health Day is a global health awareness day celebrated every year on April 7 to provide an opportunity to focus world attention on a health problem or issue that deserves special attention. The theme for the 2024 World Health Day is My Health, My Right. The Nigeria Police Force National Cybercrime Center has arrested a suspect, Mohammed Zenabdin, for criminal conspiracy and possession of suspected counterfeit currency during a raid in Abuja. The Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Dejobi, disclosed this in a statement yesterday. The statement further read that Mohammed Zenabdin provided indicting confessional statements and also offered valuable information to aid in the apprehension of other members of the gang. Another foreign scene, the World Health Organization yesterday said viral hepatitis infections are the second leading infectious cause of death globally, with 1.3 million deaths per year, the same as tuberculosis, a top infectious killer. The World Health Organization disclosed this in its 2024 Global Hepatitis Report at the World Hepatitis Summit. The World Hepatitis Summit has taken place from April 9 to 11, 2024 in Lisbon, Portugal, under the theme Integrate, Accelerate, Eliminate. The World Hepatitis Summit is a global meeting to advance the viral hepatitis agenda and provide a platform for broad hepatitis community to take stock of progress to date and share experiences and best practices in reaching and validating viral hepatitis elimination. In entertainment news, Funke Akindele has responded to claims that she ignored the late actress Aderemo Adejumoke when she reached out for assistance at the height of her sickness. Aderemo played Esther in the hit series Jennifer's Diaries, produced by Akindele. In an Instagram live session yesterday, the actress said she had no idea Aderemo was sick. She said that she was forced to respond after she saw a comment on her page from a user targeting her child. She said her relationship with Aderemo was strictly professional and she didn't know her outside of work. Following sports news, Arsenal and Bayern Munich traded blows in a pulsating 2-2 draw at the Emirates Stadium to leave their Champions League quarterfinal finally poised ahead of next week's second leg. Bukayo Saka gave Mikel Arteta's side an early lead with a superb curling finish, but Bayern capitalized on poor defending to equalize through former Gunner Serge Gnabry soon afterwards. A former Tottenham striker, Harry Kane, booed on his return to North London along with Eric Dyer, and then coolly dispatched a penalty for his 15th goal in 20 games against Arsenal after Leroy Sané was failed by William Saliba, but the host found a leveler when Leandro Trossard swept home a clinical finish in the second half. Elsewhere, Manchester City drew 3-3 with Real Madrid in an extraordinary game at the Bernabeu that leaves these Champions League quarterfinal tie in the balance. Long-range strikes from Phil Foden and Josco Guardiola looked to have secured a dramatic win on the night for Pep Guardiola's European champions after Madrid had scored twice in the space of 2 minutes to take the lead following Bernardo Silva's early goal. These are the stories of following at this hour. You can follow us across our social media platforms. We're at Jubilee 997 FM Lagos on Facebook. On Instagram is at Jubilee 99.7 FM Lagos. On X, formerly Twitter, is at Jubilee FM Lagos. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Jubilee 997 FM Lagos. You can also download the Jubilee FM mobile app on Google Play Store to your Android device. Visit our website at www.jubileefm.com. Now, do remember that hard drugs make you act like a thug. The harder you go, the harder your life gets. Stay clean and sound. Very good morning. Thanks for listening.
We serve you with tips to healthy living, trending stories, current information across the globe, and sports.
Get more sleep. The reason I like sleep is because if you can get 1 hour or more, dramatically affects cancer rates, high blood pressure rates.
Infrastructure development. No provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
This could open up kindly for De Silva, and it's wriggled in!
99.7 FM. We bring it to you because you love it.
You love listening to us. As we love to hear from you always. And we are your best friend on radio.
You a nail barrel tune in.
No Jubilee, no radio.
You know what that means? Yeah.
Jubilee 99.7 FM Lagos. Because you love it.
I'm a kid.
Kunle. Why you keep your face like person when you choose stone for inside beans?
My brother, it get how body they do me. In fact, look my shop now.
Your shop they okay now? I beg tell me wetin dey happen, John.
You know say, since when I open this shop, now only petty market now me they sell. It can't be like say market they run from me. How body want this with me now? You sure say my village people no use my name go do meeting?
Now wow, Kunle. If you don't tell people about what you they say, I don't want to know about what you they say for inside your shop.
My brother, I beg tell me how I go take do and pass.
Oh yeah, make you run go Jubilee 99.7 FM. They get better package wey fit size your pocket for you to tell what people about what you they do and what you they say. If people don't know about your business, how they want to find you?
Oh yeah, now how I go take reach them?
You fit gree them for 070-888-41490. I say 070-888-41490. Or you fit carry yourself go their office for number 12B Olorunshogo Street off Laren Bus Stop Igodo, Lagos. Jubilee 99.7 FM because you love it. Kule, we love am. My people, una know say security matter na me and you na e concern. If you see something, make you talk something. If you see any crooked waka for your area, make you sharply run go any police station wey dey near you. Make you go report the matter o. Security matter na me and you na e concern mo. I say security matter na me and you na e concern mo. This message na from Jubilee 99.7 FM.
My people, remember say hard drugs no good though. The more you dey take am, the more you go dey do like ruffian. And the more you dey enter am, the more your life go dey hard dey go. So make you stay clean and stay sound. Na Jubilee 99.7 FM Lagos. Na him bring una this message.
Your life is precious. Value it. Suicide is not an answer. It is destruction. So if you feel something, say something. Please speak up. Don't suffer alone. Share your problems with someone you can trust. That person may understand you better and may be able to help. Your family will love to live with you, not without you. And remember, suicide doesn't end the chances of life getting worse. It eliminates the possibility of it getting better. Be a winner. Choose life. This message is brought to you by Jubilee 99.7 FM Lagos.
I am Superintendent Ruth Commander Olabisi Shonuse, the Sector Public Education Officer. This is Jubilee 99.7 FM. Don't forget that speed thrills, but it kills. Drive responsibly and avoid overloading. Drop that phone. Do ensure that your vehicle is not overloaded. Make sure your vehicle documents are intact. Don't drive with expired driver's license, and don't forget that only the living celebrate.
gone past the hour, 10 o'clock. It is the Jubilee Mid-Morning Show, Jubilee 99.7 FM, Lagos. We are your prestigious talk, news and sports radio station. And don't forget, yes, I'll play some of the finest songs just to, keep you going. I'm sure you're having a good morning. I understand it's holiday. A whole lot of people are probably out there, what will I say? Some people are trying to cook this moment.
Yeah.
People are partying one way or the other. Some persons would have even traveled just to go meet up with family and friends. I mean, these are the moments people, get to take advantage and go to see their families. There's some people who just, if it's not holidays like this, they don't, get to see their families, relations, and loved ones, and all of it. That song we just played. How many of you can actually do the move? Do you know how to do it?
I can't. I'm not even trying.
I
don't even want to try.
All right. So before we went on that break, we're talking about on our major talking points. We're talking about the rise in cultism in primary and secondary schools in Nigeria, and right about now, what to put a finishing touch to it. Let's see how we can provide solutions. Let's not just sit here and talk about all points, apportion blames, parents, schools, society, and all of it. What do you think could be the way out? How can this trend be checked in order, to prevent the society from, standing the risks of being saddled with the burden of a substantial dysfunctional youth population if we don't check this? So, what have we got?
It's a pertinent issue. Let me just give this accept. It's from The Guardian. Ayodeji is a student of one of the secondary schools in Jubilee, Lagos. He's reported to be a member of confraternity.
Okay, let's take the score. Let's take the score real quick. Hello, good morning.
Okay.
The uncle in the house, Uncle
Good morning. Good morning.
And the rest of the uncle. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, Madam Ekate is on the line.
Welcome.
I know the Jubileans. Good morning. My senior brother, Mercy AJ. Good morning. And my brother, Mr. D. Good morning, known as D.
All right.
And other people, good morning to you. Concerning the cultism, the way we can, in fact, it's so rampant nowadays. Initially, I was thinking that it's only the higher institution that they are operating. I didn't know that even the secondary school, nowadays, Jesus.
It's alarming.
If you see the young boys in the secondary school who are involved in all these things, you will say, what did they happen?
True.
And some of them, it is their friend. Their friend will lure them into the like the other boy was conversing. So the friend just told him to come and escort him to go and check something. Reaching there, they went inside the bush. Reaching there are other people waiting. And they gave the boy according to the boy. Before you know, they say if you don't agree, they will beat the person, they beat the hell out of him. And that's no option than to join them. So that is how you see them increasing. I didn't mean they even enter by themselves without indulging other students. It's better. So the parents also have a lot to do right from the time the child is small. Like in the morning, you wake up, you have to have what is called morning devotion. From that morning devotion, which is prayer, you pray and read the Bible. Because the Bible must tell us that you have to train up a child in the way it should go. When he grows, he will not depart from it. Tell the child, use that time to have a time to chat with them, to advise the child some of those things that they should not involve in serving. Or if you see the friend doing those things or involving themselves in such, they should not mingle himself with such friends.
Yeah.
Tell him the word of God to teach him to live a holy life. You continue like that, read the portion of the Bible. Use that portion of the Bible to monitor the children. When they grow up like that, they will meditate on that word of God. And they will not indulge in themselves in such acts. The way the government also should do, the government, I think they signed cultism act. They should be serious with that because they arrested many of them. I don't know what they did to them. They should be serious because the thing is so rampant. maybe small time to enter primary school. If I thought it has not been done.
It has actually.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's my own test.
All right, thank you very much.
So I think the aim is to catch them young. These groups, they're always fighting against each other. They're always okay.
No, drop code. Okay,
it's still there.
Still there. All right, let's take this one. Hello, good morning.
This is AJ.
AJ, good morning.
It's not for my amiable and amenable sister that just, spoke now. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have been left, quietly in the snake. Because your topic so quintessential, so vital, but it's getting me irritated by the culprits. I'm telling you, I remember you brought something similar, that a teacher seems to have no right to rebuke a kid.
True.
In the past, we were, luckily enough, I am so assuaged by the fact that a teacher, or used to be a teacher is in your midst there, failing his experience in the classroom. Some of these parents, they think with money, everything must go, which ought not to be. We have lawyers in the classroom teaching. I can talk with all authority. They think they are better than the teachers in the classroom. When you are in the classroom, you are supposed to be superior than even any other person. My parents were not professional teachers, but you have to listen to AJ's fathers speak. You will bow. Intellectual teachers. If you put my parents side by side by my teacher, I will honor my teachers first. Because teachers are what I refer to as emancipation agents. Without them, you will be in the state of ignominy and the state of cloudiness, exhibiting your ignorance and idiocy. The three of you are there because it is the role the teachers played.
That's correct.
Prove me otherwise. AJ would not subscribe to something of balderdash, something of gibberish. I am blunt here. In the past, just as one of you said, I think Umfon, my good brother, said so. You dare not tell to your parents at home that you were reproached by whichever means, maybe caning, because the first question that will come out of a parent that is quite conscious of our knowledge acquisition, that wants progress for the kid, was, what did you do? What did you do? But today, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry of a proprietors, found schools here and there, so they can influence. Based on research, I know how many teachers have become victims of correcting these kids that are becoming, pest to even their parents. It is just the beginning. The end will be worse than this.
Pray not.
Let them continue to misconcept their children. Let them continue to pamper their children. I'm not saying you should not pamper, but let the teachers handle them. Because teachers are parents themselves, professionals. I'm telling you. You know what AJ went through in the hands of teachers? AJ is better for it now. Nonsense.
Thank you very much.
Any little thing now, you now descend on the teachers. What for? Why can't you teach the teacher yourself? Sorry, the children yourself. Why can't you teach them yourself? Is it anyhow because of that tertiary money you paid? So the teachers are becoming some, element of a rag that should be used in cleaning all sorts of, fields. My sister remains my sister, Madam Ekaiti. I wouldn't have said anything. I'm telling you. I'm expecting Oris to call and comment too.
Okay.
Yeah, so
yeah. All right.
If I get angered more than this now, I could bring my lions into the studio there.
Oh, please.
And my hyenas, my pattern.
Take it easy.
Let's call it spade a spade. The child belongs to the society, not the parents. I'm telling you. Do you know Plato suggested something? If we could put it in practice, it would have worked for anybody. If you had a child now or two children, you should not be linked to any family. The government should take care, and you can see nobody will amass wealth illegally for that kid. That is why society is in the state of depravity and in the state of fierceness. That even primary school. The other time that I was bleeding here, tears were trickling out of my eyes when in the course of ordinary football, one boy strangled another boy. You roll it in your studio here.
Wow.
Yes or no?
That's crazy.
Sad.
And somebody was telling me nothing. And the teachers, small boys, they are only seeing the beginning. They won't be able to manage it at the end. Let them misconceive him.
Okay.
As if we never had parents ourselves. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much, AJ.
Okay. Quite touching, right?
A big one there. A big one there.
Let's take the score.
I think we missed it.
No, still there. Let's see. What do we have?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Yes, I'm Oluwachoka, calling from the Gondo area.
All right, good to have you. Talk to us.
Yeah, you see this issue of fraternity. Politicians themselves, they use those people. That is why sometimes they cover for them. So those boys, they have boss that they work with. So it can never end, because in time of election, those are the boys they use. After using them, they drop them. You see, in Nigeria where we are now, in US it's not happen like this. You vote, one man, one vote. But in Nigeria, there are a lot of things happening. Assassination, kidnapping. People, the big men then, they have hands in all these things. They are the ones sponsoring those boys. If at all they get some of them arrested, they are the ones to obey them. They will cover for them that they are not cultists, they are politics upcoming. So the problem lies on the politicians, because they use them. They use them. In time of election, they use them. So it's only God that will pray to come to this kind of situation, to put an end to it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much there from.
All right. So you heard it there. Some of the top dogs in the society also playing a part in this one. All right. Let's take this other call. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Madam Patience. Good morning.
Yeah. How now they do now?
Yeah, all right.
Good.
All right.
I know what is that? I don't know.
We did talk about the rise in cultism. We don't enter primary and secondary schools
for children.
For children, yes, small children. Now we don't join cults.
Okay.
So they talk say how we go prevent them. Who even they responsible or not?
I understand, my brother. Charity starts from home. You understand? Where you are taking care of children, not to overpamper them. Or nobody will not like the kill. But if you say because in a way you take career for 9 months, woman, very important for woman. Because man does not to have more style like that. For everything for woman, but the one when man fit do for inside, make it do one. You understand? That is why they say mother. You understand? Because when pikin they go school, dress her well. Tell her say, as they go that school, so know the kind of friend you go they move out with. If you see friends when they talk about reading, study, that over no book, that is the kind of children you will be close to.
Yes.
If you see people when they talk rubbish, either stealing or fornication thing, don't listen. Tell the people to stop it. If you don't hear, don't move with that side again. You hear?
Yeah.
So move with a child that used to read book, that used to talk about reading and writing. So understand? Don't move with a child that talking rubbish, that not even serious for book. When that pikin come back, and from age of 6 going, make sure say not only reading. Make learn how to dey sweep inside room. From there, make learn how to dey wash plate. Even though anyhow when they take wash am, from there they go dey learn. So that not over papa pikin. Because say you have half girl, maybe half girl they do everything. Now that half girl they train, you know they train your pikin. So that's can. So let your pikin they do house choice for house. No the papa and every woman might pay. Nobody will know as they do. But you can't say make the papa that pikin because as it do you. No. Don't do that. Don't say because you have half girl, you or have house help, you leave everything for that house help. Now that house help they gain more. End of the day, that pikin the way you go tell make the person cry, no go. Even the person go regret. All those pikin say they go use for so. Because you start it first. You over papa there. When they come, learn how to from age of 6 years, 8 years. If you come back, first thing, wash your uniform. Anyhow you take wash and leave am. Even though you have washing machine, don't bring for them. Because we are saying the future, we don't pray for poverty for our children. But for future. When you come back, the first thing, go and wash your uniform. Anyhow they wash it, be looking at them. So understand? If they don't wash and well, you can come back for their back and wash it well for them and do it well for them. But make sure say they do that right thing, they do it. After that, they should raise their body, bath. When they bath, they eat. You give the time, they say at least they go play small now. We don't go board on this Jesus name. So they should carry their book, their assignment, do it. When they do that, always learn how to let pikin understand. Because laziness starts from the beginning. Anyhow you take trade pikin, that they're going to say this pikin lazy, do this. You cause it. When you see that pikin, don't they bring that laziness way? Try to give her work, make it do. If not to they read book every day. If not to they sweep. So when that pikin grow, you go learn how to arrange inside house. You go learn how to maintain some things. You go learn how to go to kitchen, do some certain things. Guys, whether boy or woman or this or that, training is very charity start from home. Not just do everything for teacher. They go school. When you read, teacher will teach you. If you come back, you don't go even ask the pikin, how is today's school? Are you getting me?
Yeah, where with you?
How is today's school? How do you go? How teacher can behave with you today? You know, some teachers they don't care. So that you to go learn how do you what happened? Let that your children close to you as a friend. Make your teaching children as a friend. So that anything when they see, whether good or bad, they can be able to be telling you. Why is that I train my children? They don't hide any see now they grow, they don't hide anything from me. See, that is it.
Yes.
Because we say you play with your children too much. Now let you grow picking. I play with them because they don't hide anything from me. Now so they take growth in now. And you get anytime when teacher say talk or anyhow when they do, they'll come and tell me and say, hey, if not bad one, I will go and let that teacher know. Say, don't say this to my pikin anyhow. Look at what she understand. So now so.
Thank you very much, Madam Patience.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We appreciate
Yeah,
you.
I mean, back then, how do you even come back to tell your parent that your teacher beat you? If they've told you, if they've told you, if your mother have told you before that if they beat you in school, that means you did wrong. I mean, you have that in your head. So how do you even come back and tell them, because you know that they will tell you that okay, you must have offended. The teacher is not crazy. So just bring out this kind and start flogging you.
Let's see what we have here.
AJ, one more time.
AJ, good to have you.
AJ, one more time.
Good to have you. Talk to us.
May God elevate that last speaker, so immeasurably high for me. I've adopted her as one of my sisters.
Madam Patient.
Imagine what she said. AJ is the hard boy, you. So if anybody wants to hire AJ, he paid money for it. There's no house. So there's no house chores that I cannot, engage in. Because I had a mother who I always told people my mother was a tough woman. I mean, relishing the toughness today. Children, get segregated, especially if they don't belong to the woman in the house. You are training, somebody's kid to the detriment of your own children. I like what that last speaker said. I'm telling you, some women can't even cook. AJ challenges them. You be ashamed of what they put in the pot. I can class anybody of them. They wash it. You think AJ were some houseboys? And let them come and arrest me now. They will see shocker. They will feel shocker. You see, the truth ought to be told. I don't know the kind of parenting we are having these days. Baseless cossetting, baseless pampering, baseless influencing. All in the name of my son. That is the feedback. Cautious engagement in all sorts of vicious conduct. It is the beginning. Yeah, they go to churches, they go to mosques. They have our Lord Jesus Christ, who stooped so low to wash the feet of those that ought to wash his feet. The next thing they will tell you, especially when the good teachers scold the children, don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I am? If you claim you're a big man, now walk on water like Jesus Christ now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so fly in the air now, the way aeroplanes fly. If Jesus Christ, you want to go to America, if America were not good, we don't want to go there. Swim from here, Atlantic Ocean to America now, that would tell AJ that you're a big man must foot. Let your child be corrected. After all, you cannot be a doctor to yourself. If you are sick, you go see medical doctors that are trained. Anything in engineering, you go see engineers. Anything teaching, you go see teachers. Because they are professionals. And along the line, they are not killing your kid, they are molding the kid for you and for the society. So why must you exhibit baseless reprisal on them? And the so-called directors or the owners of the school, because of the avarice. Most of them don't tell the truth. You're challenging them. I'm telling you, I like your topic.
Thank you very much.
God enrich you for that.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Thank you.
Let them continue. You see more call too. It's not a bad prediction, but it's because of the messy situation and measurement that they plugged the country into. When you were in primary school, the contributors there, the presenters there, did you hear anything pertaining to courts or culture?
Not at all. Not at all.
Answer me.
Not at all.
We need to tell the truth, man. So that you'll be set free. By not telling the truth, you are more of a slave. That is it.
All right.
Thank you very much, AJ.
AJ. Appreciate you. Okay.
All right. So I mean, the callers, the arming on parenting.
Yes.
Like I said, the role of the parenting cannot be overemphasized. It's really important.
It's really important. So let's see what we have here. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. I come back.
Oh, okay. Good to have you. Talk to us.
You see, this issue of children, children self, they get their own for body.
Tell us.
Most children now, they are rude. They don't want to hear anything. Now, from friends to friends, now that they spoil the phone. Can you imagine? Even this issue of property, they are born from small. So when they grow up, maybe from secondary school, so they're ready to join any gang. Because from their primary school level, they were very stubborn. And their parents is not even giving them any consciousness. It's not even having care about them. Even when a child is speaking anyhow, you just lock up. You don't even correct a child. And this kind of is not good. Correct yourself. You don't correct yourself beating. It's not about beating, because when you are beating a child, you make the child stubborn more and more. Because this issue of confraternity, I was once like that before. I was once like that before because I'm from Benin.
Oh, okay.
I was once like that before. I ran away because of the way they are packaged things. That is why I told you that politics, they are into this game. before they go to politics, they was once like them. So in time of election, they use them because when I was in Benin, they would bring money, 500,000, 800,000, then we share money, then they lodge us in hotel. A day of election, they take us to the field to secure pilot bus and whatever. So when I was living such life, it's so favoring me. They were just use us. They would promise you then after election they will do this, they will do that. Any of them, they will not do. So I just look at into those kind of issues. It's very bad. All these things is happening in Nigeria. No other country experience all of this. You see,
all right.
Most especially the politicians, they are the key to all those kind of things. They need to initiate more people so that they will plenty more. But the most important thing, they are fighting themselves. It might be because of women. It might be because of relevant things that is not common. They fight themselves. They're killing themselves. And in those days, that is not how Corpora used to be. Corpora is like a team. They use it to read books. If your parents doesn't have money, you can't join them. Yes. So if you are not if you don't have brain of reading, if you are not
not brilliant,
if you are not brilliant, you can't join them. But nowadays, even big player join them. Even backlight join them.
That's what I was talking about.
So in those days, in our time, because I'm 32 now, I'm still a boy. Because I'm not married yet.
Still a boy.
I can call myself a boy.
Okay.
So all those things happen in my days. If you are not brilliant, if you are not worthy, you can't join them. But nowadays, people can't rider join them. So that is why the thing is spoiled. When you mistakenly told their girlfriend, they will come and kill you. It's not beating, they will kill you direct.
It's ridiculous.
Carrying of blood is their hobby now. That is what they do now, and it's very bad. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So then I think it then boils again to orientation, because when they are more illiterate inside these groups, then they don't have this
there's no control again.
this level of reasoning and to consider many things. They just, once you offend them, they want to kill you, and it's appalling.
For me, it's a simple thing. I look at you. You won't be a cultist, right? You would die. They go kill you through.
It's not they're not aware. They're aware of these things.
Is that not enough reason for you not to indulge in something like that?
And I will not agree with the last caller that said it's based on politics. There are many of
politics play a very big role.
I know. But then there are many on the street that they don't know any politician. They're just doing it because they want power. They want this street credibility, and
they call it supremacy fight.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't know anybody. They're just doing it to. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines.
Okay.
Hello.
Good morning.
Okay.
Drop call there. Do all the callers back. 0704 100 8997 or 0704 100 7997. Okay, let's see if it will connect this time. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is Vivian.
Hi, Vivian.
Calling from Ikotu.
All right, good to have you. Welcome, Vivian. Talk to us.
Yes, I actually love your program this morning.
Thank you very much.
Based on the topic you're treating with this morning, for me, my own, I would say is like a manipulation from the pit of hell. Yeah, because most of the times we parents, you might actually bring up your child the way it pleases you and God, but at the time you see them going the other way around, despite the things you put in them and all of that. So I would say it's a kind of manipulation. And most of them indulging in all these things, actually in all the people, both female, male, in this cultism, if you check them, Google their destiny spiritually, there are people that have this bright future, they have dreams, they have a lot of things to offer. But once you see the kind of their attitude, you be like, this one doesn't have parents, or doesn't even have someone that is talking to. Oh, what kind of this child coming from? It's coming from home. He has parents, and maybe the parents have tried and tried and tried and tried. based on the demonic manipulation that take over the child. You see the child start misbehaving. And another thing for the child is say no to the devil, and it will flee. When you say no, you resist them. You see, even when you meet, even mingling with bad friends, they can't take over you. They can't corrupt you like that. But because I'm also saying from my own side, because when I was growing up, I had a lot of friends. You see, most of them, they draw their tattoo, pierce nose, mouth, everywhere, piercing. But me, I didn't do that. Because most of the time, even there is one that was even forcing me to do you need to, this, that. Inside, where are you even going to? Inside of me, this one is not even as if someone, inside of me, I say no. How will I look? Okay, maybe I did it in 10 years' time. Okay, in 6 years' time, I'm married, I have a child. How will my children see me?
Look at,
Mommy, test all your face, you draw this and all over. In my mind, I say no. At the time, I had to cut off. You understand? So that is, well, I would just say maybe it's manipulation from the pit of hell.
Okay.
Against the life of the youth. That is my own contribution.
Thank you very much, Vivian, and thank you once again. That's our last caller.
You know that yes, we have been sort of blaming parents a lot for throughout this topic. I will agree with the last caller that sometimes the parents actually do their best.
Yes,
they put everything in place to make sure that this child comes out really bright.
So
but then,
but then there's some things that you can't just control. Like
that is
once they step out from the house, from your and they go to school, and as I said before, that between that period that they're away and school, a lot of things can happen. You cannot control that one. But then you can only do your bits. Don't do this, don't do that. This thing is wrong, this thing is right. But then at the end of the day, it's still left to this child to decipher what to do and what not to do.
The place of prayer, it could still be very important.
Very important.
And I think also temperaments. And the individual temperament. So if you are just like you said, if you are this aggressive type, you are more likely to end up in these groups because just to all I put it out to you find yourself there eventually if you're not careful because of the way you act, your temperaments. So parents should also that's why we talk about parents. It's the point that boils down to parenting and look at your child. Take notes, pay attention to them, and also know their temperament and know how to manage them. So when they go out there, they can know how to manage themselves.
Okay, I guess that's your final word, right?
Yeah.
All right, David, what do you have to say as we wrap up?
One of the caller once said that sometimes these kids could be forced into joining these confraternities, and that is a very, very scary part. It is a very, very scary part because even if they're not willing, even if you don't want to do it, you're being coerced.
Losing their life and all of it.
They're pressure too.
And we've seen that even in tertiary institutions also. So we just prayers, God's grace and all of that. Grace. So it's a cruel world out there. So we just pray for God's grace to actually guide all of us, and also we also need to help ourselves. Try not to go close to the wrong fellowship. Don't try to do all of those kind of things. Just be right, stay right, do the right things, and I think everything will go well for you.
Yeah, just like the Madam Patient said, know the kind of people you're moving with. If you see that this person is always saying all sort of nonsense, don't roll with this person. And if the person is a kind of someone that reads all the time, this kind of people, just get close to them.
Be with the right company. That's what you're trying to say. Stay right, do right, just like David has said, is where Albert taking this one also from. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been a part of today's conversation on the Mid-Morning Show. We appreciate you. We'll see your messages. We just want to say thank you. We also thank you for your calls. Okay. All right. Let's quickly take this one. This message says, let parents be friends with their kids. Okay. Let parents be their kids' friend.
Very important.
Very important there. I'm sorry we can't take any more calls. The phone lines are really buzzing and all.
We have to go.
Any more calls? We have to make way for the next program. Or Denigbo with Chinwe. She's already in the studio and she's looking at us and saying, guys, get up. Okay. Catch us tomorrow. we're going to be bringing you the throwback edition of the Jubilee Mid-Morning Show. There's going to be another exciting topic for us to, look into as we try to see how we can contribute to improving our society. Once again, thank you so very much. Thank you, David. Thank you, Zlatan.
It's been a wonderful time.
Yeah. We hope to do this tomorrow with you, right?
Of course.
All right. All right. Enjoy. I'll leave you in the hands of Tamaya featuring Buju. This one is titled Cold Outside.
Jubilee 99.7 FM. Because you love it.